Advent wreaths are a common tradition in many homes and churches during the season of Advent, the 4 weeks leading up to Christmas. It is during this time that we not only look forward to the celebration of the birth of Christ, but also prepare our hearts for his second coming. Advent wreaths traditionally have 5 candles, one for each theme of Advent: hope, love, joy, and peace, and the center white candle to be lit on Christmas and in the Christmas season thereafter until Epiphany. Advent wreaths can often be expensive, but today we're going to create 5 simple, lovely wreaths that are perfect for your cottage this season. For most of the wreaths in this video, I'm using 100% beeswax candles that I found on Etsy, and you can find the link to those below. For this first wreath, I found the biggest ironstone bowl that I had. Then I took some floral foam and cut holes in it with a butter knife to put the candles in. A bread knife worked well for cutting the foam to size. Once I had all the candles in the holes, I filled in the bowl with some dried Spanish moss. Then I layered in some freshly cut evergreen, some pine cones, and dried oranges for color. The second wreath is very different. It's more of a neutral wintry wreath. The base of the wreath is a vintage mirror that I painted white. I love the details around the edges. It was a bit dirty from last time, so I had to scrape off some old wax. A plastic scraper works really well for this. To hold the candles, I used this little metal candle ring I found at Target a few years ago. Then I took a winter wreath that my mom was getting rid of and disassembled it and just tucked it all around the perimeter of the mirror. For this wreath, I decided to use all white candles. I'm using white tapers I found for a really good price at Trader Joe's. For the center candle, I simply set a pillar in the middle. This third wreath is more traditional, but so simple. Start by laying out whatever winter wreath you want. If you want this wreath to be easily movable, I suggest laying it on top of a board or a sturdy tray. I filled small baby food jars with sugar to hold the candles. Then I placed them around the center of the wreath, tucking the greenery around them to kind of hide them. The white taper looked too small for the center of this wreath, so I put a small ironstone bowl in the middle with a pillar candle inside. This next one was fun to make. I took a piece of wood from a beloved tree we had to cut down several years ago and measured my candles using digital calipers, and then I used a drill press to drill holes evenly down the center of the wood. A big thanks to my husband for giving me a quick tutorial on how to use the drill press. I had to drill the holes slightly larger than the candles, so in order to get them to stay, I took a little bit of my kids' Play-Doh and shoved it down in the hole, and that pretty well glued the candle in place. While I thought it looked cool in its own minimalist way, I decided to dress it up a little bit. The last Advent wreath was a combination of several different ideas. I started with a vintage wood box that I found at Vintage Market Days. I filled it with faux stems from the Target dollar spot that I found this year. Then I placed the sugar-filled baby food jars in the various compartments and stuck the candles in. Then I filled in with dried Spanish moss, pine cones, and cinnamon sticks, just because they smell good. You can find resources from this video below, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching.